Hey, hello everyone. I'm LNT Mahesh and my major is computer science, and I have taken a PowerPoint presentation from my major, and my topic is web designing. So it's a kind of a little boring, but try to listen. Okay. And now I'll tell you about the history of the web designing. The history of web designing started in the year of 1991 to 1993. It was the birth for the web designing. At this stage, there was just a text. There were no pictures. There was nothing included in that. Only the text was the major thing in the web designing thing. Later, in 1996, Microsoft company has released its own competitive browser. In this browser, there were a lot of options for developers to develop everything. They got a lot of choices and everything. In the same year, 1996, there was a software named Adobe Flash, which gave a greater improvement and greater future for the history of web designing. In the Flash software, there were many kind of improvements, and this led to the layout of the. By using Flash, they started doing the layout of the web designing, web pages. There were many animations done in the Flash. And in this 21st century, as many of you know that web pages have become a major thing in everyone's life. Internet has become a greater thing. And let me tell you about what is web designing. Before knowing what is web designing, let me talk about design. What is a design? As you all can see, design is the process of collecting ideas and making those ideas into a complete picture where it makes sense to everyone. And now what is a web designing? Web designing is a kind of a similar process wherein you keep the pictures, text, everything into a certain layout wherein the users can use it with a user-friendly thing. And now let me tell you about the elements of web designing. The elements means what exactly needs web designing. The first thing is the layout. Well, the layout, as I already said you can see our CMIH website. We have a layout, like there's a buttons page on the top, there's something newsfeed beside, there's a login page on the rightmost corner, there is a newsfeed downwards. You can even take Facebook as an example. There are buttons on the top, there is the groups, whatever you like it, there are on the leftmost corner. The rightmost corner you have the ads, and in between you have the newsfeed. That's the layout. And let me go to the color. Well, will you use Facebook if it is awkward? I don't think so. Well, the person who has created the web page for the Facebook has used a very good color so that it's compelling to everyone and everyone can use it. And let me talk about the graphics. And graphics is one of the major part in web designing. The graphics include the logos, photos. For doing all these kind of graphics, we use a lot of softwares like Photoshop, Flash, Adobe Illustrate, everything, and fonts. The use of various fonts can enhance web designing. Like you have few fonts. You can in the Word itself you have a lot of fonts. It depends on the font we use and the content. The content of the web designing also matters. See, you have a Facebook, you have something called CMIH ID, and there is some other matter. The Facebook link opens in the CMIH ID. It doesn't relate to the content of the website. And the next slide is creating a user-friendly web design. Well, for a user-friendly web design, you need to have a beautiful style, layout and everything. And a few of the things are navigation. Navigation, you should have a navigation so that the button should have a lot of more UI options and everything. And the multimedia. Multimedia also has a lot of, like if you open a web page, you have an audio or a video with a flash interface, then you can feel it good. The next one is compatibility. This is a main feature. Like different people have different OSs and different computers. And this feature is very important because you need to develop a website in such a way that everyone can use it. Without this structure, it cannot be user-friendly. Technology. These days, the technology gives a lot of web designing things, a lot of scope to the web designers, and interactive. Interactive means it has to be, many people have to participate, like you should have forms and everything. And these are my questions. Well, in the year 1996, which company released its first competitive browser?
Microsoft.
Okay. Name one graphic software used in the designing process.
Flash.
Oh. Okay. What is a feature that has to be used to perform equally on all operating systems?
Competitive.
Yeah, compatibility.
Competitive.
Correct. And any suggestions for me? Thank you. That's it.